The connection economy. Efficient with things, effective with people. You know, it's funny. Think about all the amazing and wonderful inventions of the 20th and 21st centuries and how much easier our lives are because of them. We don't take clothes down to the lake to wash them because we have indoor washing machines, dryers too, and we don't have to wash dishes by hand anymore if we don't want to. We don't have to send mail by stagecoach or even plane anymore. We don't even have to email with instant messaging. Doctors can diagnose and prescribe without leaving the office or home, and neither does the patient for that matter. I could name 1,000 different inventions and different ways that we've learned to do things more efficiently. And efficiency means not only are we not expending as much effort and energy to do something, we're also not taking as much time to do stuff too. Efficiency, more than anything else, saves us time. The only thing we don't get any more of, which is good, because nobody wants to waste time, especially if you run a small business. But here's what's kind of funny. Something got lost in all that efficiency bathwater. According to people that study this stuff, despite the fact that we have so many different gizmos, gadgets, and methodologies conspiring to make us more efficient and less likely to waste time, we are more timed out and stressed than ever. We thought part of what would make our business more productive and our lives more pleasurable was maximizing our efficiency, but that's only half right. Sometimes the expenditure of time with no regard to efficiency is not only good for business, but it can actually lead to an expansion of the customer base, which translates to more profits. When we went full tilt into efficiency mode, that something that we lost was connection. It's the customer's deep-seated need to experience connection, something above and beyond the product or service. And this connection oftentimes flies directly in the face of efficiency. Now, this whole thing might sound a bit nebulous, so let me give you a couple of examples, one from a gigantic company and one from little old me. First, Zappos. This online shoe store, which was started by one person's desperate desire to buy a pair of shoes, is a monumental success by almost any measure. And this billion-dollar success story was built without a lick of organized advertising. How they do it? By building relationships with customers, one at a time. Zappos' decision at its inception to not only make customer service its hallmark, but to actually weave it into the company's cultural fiber will go down in history as a legendary stroke of genius, especially when you consider how many people have handhelds that they use to send and receive information. And speaking of legends, Zappos has a lot of super amazing stories of sales associates delighting their customers, but the one that sticks out for me, the one that fits into this column, is the customer service call that is said to have lasted for 8 hours. An 8-hour phone interaction with a single customer. It's difficult to wrap my mind around that. But can you imagine all the free publicity, attention, and social media buzz it generated? How many new customers came out of that Guinness Book-worthy call? I think it's safe to say that for all parties, caller, salesperson, the entire sales team, president of the company, the masses that read the account or heard about it in conversation, maximizing efficiency wasn't the primary objective. It's also a good bet that a supreme connection was made that day. And next up, me. A little while back, I went to grab some to-go from my favorite Chinese restaurant. I've been going to this restaurant off and on for about 3 years, so the husband and wife owners are very friendly to me, but that wasn't by accident. They don't exactly have the friendliest clientele, and they're not exactly the friendliest people. Watching people come in and out, picking up orders, paying, then leaving, neither customer nor restaurateurs were the friendliest people you'll ever see. In fact, I would describe the encounters as symbiotic contention. So I cultivated a kinship with them. I tipped very well, I always tip well, and made small talk. After many months, we were actually on friendly terms. They would greet me upon arrival, comment that it's been a while since my last visit, give me a cheerful goodbye. Stuff like that. Anyway, one day they had their teenage daughter working behind the counter. She was no doubt unaware of my slightly elevated relationship with her ma and pa. So when I came to the counter and greeted her, she was all about processing me. Name, order, soy sauce, cash or card. Sign here, please. All said very quickly and to the point. Now, interspersed between the daughter's inputs was my and her mom's conversation. Glad to see you again. Your hair looks great. You like it? It needs cutting. Busy day today? No, it's okay. I knew it was you. I know your order. The daughter was dutifully trying to execute her duties in apparent unawareness of what was taking place between her ma and me. And at a point, I stopped mid-sentence and smiled at the daughter. Mom, sensing what was happening, very lovingly took daughter by the shoulders and pushed her to the side so that she and I could converse without interruption. And so our light conversation resumed. The daughter's primary concern was efficiency, processing me through, just as she was taught. Friendly conversation is not a requirement. But the mom's primary concern was effectiveness, being effective, reconnecting with me and renewing our relationship, spending time. Both Zappos and Chinese restaurant mom chose, in those moments, to spend time over efficiently conserving it. Both chose the power of the connection to positively influence a customer rather than reduce the encounters down to a quick process. Now, I don't want to be misunderstood, so let me emphasize. Both efficiency and effectiveness are good things, necessary things. But in the times in which we live, customers are overwhelmed by one and starved for the other. I believe that connectiveness, effectiveness, is the great X factor for any small business seeking to dramatically change its fortunes. It's not the business that draws us to return for more. We can get that stuff anywhere, whatever that stuff is. Besides, efficiency is actually a management trait, the tools and skills of product and commodity movement. But effectiveness is a leadership trait, the very human capacity and ability to mold, influence, inspire, and lead people. And it's the people that draw us back to the business, really. It's our natural psychological need to connect on a genuine human level that gets the swing vote as to where we'll ultimately shop and buy. In these high-speed, high-stress times, the need to slow it down and spend some time will only become greater. So start spending a little time with your customer. Take off the sales and marketing hat and reveal your very real, very human self. Connect and reconnect with your customers. Ask them a question that only they can answer. If you're not used to it, there's going to be an adjustment factor. And if your customers are quite cynical, they'll have to adjust too. They'll wonder to themselves, what's she up to? But persist. Just persist. In the long run, your willingness and ability to connect with your customers will make everybody better. This is Bo. Thanks for checking in. There's a lot more to come, so come back soon.